The new Placebo album will be coming out at the beginning of June, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. And I'd like to think that this album is a lot more colorful than the previous one, which I think was quite dark in places, perhaps, the darkest, emotionally at least, that we've ever been on record. I think it's been an absolute reluctance to kind of be fashionable, we have never really sort of concerned ourselves with what's hip, because I think if you make records that way, you're in a studio and you think about what's happening, what's hip at the moment on the radio and everything. Probably by the time you finish making your record, what was in fashion while you were making your record is now out of fashion. So we just kind of stuck to our guns, followed our own path, really, had the courage of our convictions, and I suppose weren't afraid to be different and tried to be as honest as possible on an emotional level. And that's probably why people still want to listen to it, to what we do. The other aspect of it is that we just simply have a real passion for making music, and we basically are unemployable. We couldn't really have another job. This is sort of all that we can do. So we have to put all our eggs in one basket. We have to make it work, and that's why we're still here. Who are our heroes? Sonic Youth changed my life when I heard them for the first time at the age of 16. Just this universe of sonic possibilities was made apparent to me. And I think the Pixies as well were massive heroes of mine, and still are. And also people like Leonard Cohen and Janis Joplin, 60s music.
You'd not say like Depeche Mode, a band that manages to write pop music that's also exploring the kind of darker side of the human emotion.
Yeah, still watch TV.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but still watch it. TV's like a really good way to shut your brain off. So I find it very useful to use TV at the end of a day when you have to kind of stop thinking. So I usually look for the purest form of escapism on TV, or like comedy, or something that's really going to not make me think, so that I can go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm the same. And reruns of Frasier.
Family Guy is really good. That's a really good one. A really good way to end the day. I don't think playing a festival is really losing contact with your audience, because it's just what bands do in the summertime. It's more like a kind of a celebration of music. And it's also where a lot of people discover new bands. So it's very much about the process of discovery. Obviously, the energy, it's outdoors, so the energy is not contained in a space. So it's much more easily dissipated, which means as a band sometimes we have to work harder. But we never just go on tour and just do festivals. So we always tour our own shows, and so we manage never to kind of lose an intimate sort of contact with the audience that way.
Well, the evolution of the music industry has been changing ever since music was consumed. The first forms of music you can only go and see. If it was classical music, for example. And then since the 50s, started off with the sheet music. That's how people bought music. They took it home and they played on the piano. And then the vinyl came, and the sheet music industry kind of went out of business, and the CD came, and the vinyls disappeared. And then now music is just ones and zeros. And the music industry is, in a sense, smaller now, because music has become... It's a hard word to say, but...
It's niche-driven. more so now than
And it's
anything.
also, people are buying less music. Let's face it here. That's the truth of it. And we are very lucky to be in a position where we have built up a fan base over a long period of time and can go out and play gigs and hopefully people will still come and see us, and that's kind of what's keeping the roof over our heads, and food on the table. I think, I don't want to be pessimistic, but it's almost coming to the end of purchased music. In a way, the music that's recorded is almost becoming a bit of an ad, for the live gigs.
Well, we've always had a very specific attitude towards music videos. I mean, they're called pop promos. They were in the old days, and promo is short for promotion, and that's what they are. They're like a promotional tool for your music. And we've always looked upon them as a kind of necessary evil, and our attitude towards it has been, well, since it's one of the few ways to actually expose new people to your music, then let's be sure and make them a work of art. And so it's always kind of been about trying to strike that balance, between doing something which is watchable and accessible, but at the same time has some kind of artistic value that isn't just a commercial. Well, we make music as quickly as we can. In fact, I mean, we're the kind of band that's sort of always in the process of writing, whether it's at home or at a sound check or on a bus in between countries. But the way that it's done is that you make an album and then you go on tour. Luckily, we're very, very much in demand as a live act, so our tours have a tendency to be long, and so we kind of make the albums as quickly as we can. It takes about six to 8 months to make a record, and then we usually go on tour for 18 months to 2 years. Then we need to have a little bit of rest, and then then we get ourselves back in the studio. So we do it as quickly as humanly possible. Our top five Placebo videos. I really like Pure Morning. One of the reasons I liked it is because it was like our first video that sort of looked a bit like a sort of an American cop show. I enjoyed the training that I had to do for that video, because if you look at that video, you see I have to walk down a wall, and it took me a long time to sort of learn how to do that. So that was fun, and it's the only video that we've ever been nominated for an award for. So, and then generally, the rest of my favorite videos are the videos that we're not in.
I was just going to say Song to Say Goodbye.
Well, we're not in that one either. So I guess we like it when they sort of have a tendency to resemble cinema as much as possible, which certainly A Song to Say Goodbye does.
We also had a period around black market music where all the videos, we wanted to get away from being just a live performing band in the video. Like the songs Slave to the Wage and Special K are quite filmic. They have a story to them, and we are acting
badly.